Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Revandra Radenan Jaya from Mechanical Engineering 2022. Okay. In this video, I would like to evaluate or solve some problem about my final exam in fluid mechanic. Basically, I in our final exam, it has 5 questions. So to make it the video not too long, let's just get started to solve question number 1. Okay, for question number 1, is a flow through an orifice matter. An airflow, the rate up of one standard condition is expected in a 0.25 meter diameter duct. An orifice meter is used to measure the rate of flow. The manometer available to make the measurement has a maximum range of 300 millimeter of water. Determine the diameter of the orifice plate that should be used with D and D2 pressure type. Determine the head loss if the flow area at the vena contracta is 0.65 of the orifice diameter. So to solve this problem, like usual, I would like to use the A5 problem solution. So let's get started to the first step, which is intention. So I intend to solve this problem to find orifice diameter and the head loss because of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. After doing intention, let's move on to the next step, which is initial thinking. So basically, an orifice meter is something look like this, which is has a diameter, where the airflow in this case is 1 meter cubic per second, has a 0.25 diameter duct, and the manometer has a maximum height of 300 millimeter. So we need to find the orifice diameter for an airflow of 1 meter 3 per second at the pressure difference of 300 millimeter water, and the head loss for the orifice meter. So the basic equation that we will use in this problem is basically there is two, which is conservation of mass and the Bernoulli equation. So let's move on to the next step, which is idealization. So we would like to make an assumption to make the question easier to solve. So there is basically 8 assumptions for this question to answer it more easy, which is the first one is I assume the airflow is steady, the air can be treated as an incompressible fluid, and then the alpha 1 and then v1 square is equal to alpha 3 and v3 square. We neglect the delta z, and then the fbx is 0, the uniform flow at section 2 and 3, the pressure uniform across duct at section 2 and 3, and we can neglect the friction force on the CV. So the equation that we want to use is the equation of mass flow rate, which is this is the simplification of the equation that I already mentioned in the initial thinking, and then we want to use the pressure difference equation, the Reynolds number equation, and then the heat loss equation, which we get from the Bernoulli equation. With if we simplify, we will get the head loss to become this equation, and then the momentum equation to a volume control between section 2 and section 3. Section 2 and section 3 is like this. This is section 2 and this is section 3. So then we move on to the instruction set. So first of all, we want to answer the first question first, which is orifice diameter for an airflow of 1 meter 3 per second at the pressure difference of 300 millimeter of water. We get from the mass flow rate equation. From this equation, in this equation, the maximum mass flow rate is known. The pressure difference will be taken as the maximum, which is 300 millimeter water, and the maximum flow rate. The unknown are the orifice coefficient, throat area, the diameter of ratio of beta, the orifice coefficient KO depend on the Reynolds number and the diameter ratio. An iterative procedure will be used, which a diameter is selected and the pressure difference is determined. If the pressure difference is larger than the criterion of 300 millimeter of water, larger diameter ratio will be selected. We want to guess the diameter that we would like to use by checking the height but cannot exceed 300 millimeter. So the air density at standard condition is 1.23 and the viscosity at standard condition is 1.46. So we just input it to the Reynolds number equation. So we will get 3.5 times 10 5. My first guess would be a value of dt of 0.175, which yield value of beta of 0.7 or Northwest coefficient. From figure 8.2 is about 0.625. The figure 8.2 is this, the Reynolds number, the graph for searching the Reynolds number based on this calculation. The pressure difference is then using the pressure difference equation, then we get the pressure difference with using the dt of 0.175 and beta 0.7, we get about 2070 pascal. The corresponding height of the water column in manometer is about 211 millimeter. This is lower than the maximum pressure difference, and so the answer is this is lower than the maximum pressure difference, and we need a second guess will be made to using a smaller orifice diameter of 0.15, which corresponding to a beta of 0.6 and orifice coefficient diameter ratio of 0.65. The same calculation as above are carried out in the resulting pressure difference, and the manometer height is 463, and then the pressure difference is 4530 pascal. But because the diameter is too small, the appropriate diameter between is the appropriate or the one who not too big or too small for the diameter is between 0.15 and 0.175. Another guess of the diameter is made to process repeated the orifice coefficient. The guess diameter is obtained from linear interpolation between the value of 0.15 and 0.175. Eventually, the diameter is about 0.165 is found to a yield pressure of 2830 pascal and a manometer height of 289 millimeter water, which is close enough to the targeted value, which is 300 millimeter. So the final design will be with the dt of 0.165 and beta of 0.66. So after we get the answer for the question number 1 part A, we want to solve for the part B, which is we want to find the height loss for the orifice diameter. So first we need to find the pressure difference in the section 2 and 3. We just input it in the equation, then we got the pressure difference between section 2 and 3 is about 1 to 1290 Newton meter square. Then we need to find the head loss using the head loss equation, which is like this, and then we got the head loss is about 100 to 1250. So based on we get the pressure difference between point 1, 2, and 3, we now can search for the permanent pressure loss as the fraction of the meter differential, which is 0.44. The head loss is about 44% of the pressure draw through the orifice. There is some recovery of kinetic energy of the fluid in the vena contracta. That's for number 1. Next, we move on to the second question, which is show in the 4 point. Spray head in agricultural spraying system are to be supplied with the water through a 500 feet of drawn aluminum tubing from an engine-driven pump. In its most efficient operating range, the pump output is about 1500 GPM at a discharge pressure not exceeding 65 psig. For satisfactory operation, the sprinkler must operate at 30 psig or higher. Pressure. Minor losses and elevation change may be neglected. Determine the smallest standard pipe size that can be used. So, same like before, we need to do intention first. So I intend to solve this problem to find the smallest standard pipe size that can be used because of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So next move on to the initial thinking. So the question, if we simplify it to a figure, a drawing, some draw free body diagram is about more likely will be like this. There is a pump and there is a pipe, and then in here there is a sprinkle. So the basic concept is the conservation of energy. We want to use Bernoulli equation to find, like the question before, we want to find the head loss. So for the idealization, we move on to idealization, which is want to make two assumption. We want to neglect the minor loss and neglect the elevation change. So we would get the pressure change equation like this, and then if we simplify, it will be like this, and then the Reynolds number about for this problem is about this from this equation. So next we move on to the instruction set. So first of all, we need to transform the flow rate from GPM or gallon per minute to feet per second. So we get the 1500 GPM is about 3.342 feet per second. So next, let me assume the nominal diameter of the pipe. It's same like before. We want to guess the pipe size, and then we find it in the diagram to find the friction. So I want to assume that the diameter of the pipe is 4 in, and then inside diameter of the pipe is 4.026 in. The Reynolds number about 1.06. For the tubing roughness is about 5 times 10 minus 6 feet, and then for the ratio between roughness and diameter is about 1.49. From Moody chart at corresponding Reynolds number from an epsilon per diameter value friction is about 0.012, and then we just need to input the friction number to the pressure or the head loss equation, which we get about 172 lbf, which is the pressure drop is too large, so we need to find another diameter. So next we want to assume it to become the diameter to be bigger, so the pressure drop will be reduced. So I want to assume it to be 6 in, which is the inside diameter of the pipe is 6.065. In Reynolds number we got about 6.95, and then we search for the tubing roughness, same like this step here, and then we just input it in the pressure drop equation, and then we got the pressure drop is about 24.038, which the pressure is less than the our allowable pressure drop. The pressure drop is also satisfied for the minimum nominal diameter of a 6-in pipe. Therefore, the conclusion of this equation is the minimum diameter of the pipe should be 6 in. That's for number 2. So let next move to question number 3, which is a question about the acceleration of an automobile by a drag parachute. The question is more likely said like this: a dragster weighing 1600 lbf attain a speed of 220 miles per hour in a quarter mile. Immediately after passing through timing light, the driver opened the drag chute of an area of 25 foot square. Air and rolling resistance of car may be neglected. Find the time required to the machine to decelerate to 100 miles per hour in standard air. So, like question number 1 and 2, we need to do intention first. So I intend to solve this problem to find the time required for the machine to decelerate to 100 miles per hour because of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So let's move on to the next step, which is initial thinking. In initial thinking, the free body diagram will look like this, which is the drag force will be to the left, the velocity will go to the right, and then the car movement is to the right. So which is the initial speed is 270 miles per hour, the speed at the end is 100 millimeter 100 miles per hour, and then the density is 0.00236. The dragster weight is about 1600 lbf, and then the area is to 25 feet square. So the basic concept that we want to use in this question is the Newton's second law, which is sigma f is equal to mass time acceleration. So for the idealization, the next step, we want to assume that the air and the rolling resistance can be neglected. So we taking the car system and writing the Newton's second law in the direction of motion give us the equation like this, which is where the drag force is equal to this equation. And then if we separating and integrating the equation, we obtain that the equation of the time is about this equation. And then for the Reynolds number is from this equation. So for the instruction, we can just using the time equation to solve the problem by assuming the model of the drag chute of hemisphere as a hemisphere, which open and facing flow. From the table 9.3, the drag coefficient is 1.42. We assume that the Reynolds number is above 1000. So if we input the all of the known properties, we would like to get the time about 5 seconds. Finally, we can check the assumption of RA. It must be more than 1000. So we input the Reynolds number, and then we got the Reynolds number is above 1000. So the assumption is valid. So the answer is correct if the time is 5 seconds. So next we move on to the next question. So this is a open flow channel. So for this question, let's do the intention first. I intend to find the characteristic of the nature about it about the flow in open channel because of Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Next we move on to the initial thinking. So the basic concept that we want to use in this problem is about a conservation of mass. And then we want to make an idealization to make us understand the characteristic about the open flow channel to be much easier. So the assumption is first the flow is steady flow, it's incompressible flow, the uniform velocity at each section, hydrostatic pressure distribution at each section, and frictionless flow. So next move on to the next step, which is idealization. So by applying conservation of mass to the volume control, we can obtain that we would like to get this equation. After it, we can solve for v, and then if we simplify or we we move the v, and then this is basically just algebra, and then we get delta v is about this equation. And then for the momentum equation, again the assumption of uniform velocity at each section, we use the following form of the x component of momentum, which is like this from this equation. The unsteady term disappear as the flow is steady, and the body force of Fbx is 0 for the horizontal flow. So we obtain the Fsx is about this equation. The surface force Fsx consists of a pressure force on the two end. By assumption 5, we neglect the friction. The gauge pressure at the two end is hydrostatic as illustrated in figure 11.4b. This figure had the hydrostatic force of Fr on submerged vertical surface of A is given by a simple result of this equation, where the Pc is the pressure at the centroid of vertical surface. For the vertical surface of the control volume, we have that about this equation using the result in 3 or equation number 3. We get, and evaluating the term on the right, we get the force on surface is about this equation. The two term base are equal from continuity as shown in equation number 1. So the momentum are simplified to this equation, combining it with equation 11. Combining it with equation 1.11.4, we can obtain that the C is about this equation for waves relatively small amplitude. We can simplify this equation above is to become this equation below. Hence, the speed of the surface disturbance depends on the liquid flow on the fluid depth. For example, it's explained why wave crest as they approach the beach. Out of to the sea, the water depth are below wave crest, through the approximation is the same, and hence on their speeds. As the depth decreases on the approach to the beach, the depth of crest start to become significantly larger than through the depth. The cause crest to speed up and overtake the towed. Note that the fluid properties do not enter into the speed. Viscosity is a minor factor, and the wave we have to describe is due to the intersection of gravitational and inertia force, both both of which are linear with density. Equation 4, which was derivative in the basis of one-dimensional motion x direction, a realistic model allowing two-dimensional fluid motion x and y direction, so that equation 4 applies for the limiting case of large wavelength wave. Also, there are other types of surface waves, such as capillary wave driven by surface tension, for which equation 4 does not apply. So this equation is not work for all open channel flow. It only work from based on our assumption before. So that's for number 4. So let's next move on to the last question, which is question number 5. It's about a choke flow in a converging nozzle. The question is, the airflow isentropically through a converging nozzle at a section where the nozzle area is 0.13 feet square. The local pressure, temperature, Mach number are 60 psia, 14 Fahrenheit, and 0.52 respectively. The back pressure is about 30 psia. The Mach number at the throat, the mass flow rate, and the throat area are to be determined. So we need to do the intention first. I intend to solve this problem to find the Mach number at the throat, the mass flow rate, and the throat area because of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Next, move on to the next step, which is initial thinking. So the free body diagram as it shown in the question is to be like this, which the Mach number is 0.52, the temperature is 40 Fahrenheit. At section 1 in here is the pressure is 60 psia and the area is 0.013. So we need to find the Mach number at the throat in T, and then the mass flow rate, and then the area of the throat. So the basic concept that we are using is there is two, which is the conservation of mass and then the Bernoulli equation. So for the idealization, we want to assume that it is an isentropic flow. And then for the pressure equation, for the isentropic flow is about this equation, and then the mass flow rate is density times volume times the area, which is the velocity is about this equation, and then for the density we got it from this equation. And then we move on to the next step, which is instruction. So first we need check for the choking to determine the flow is isentropic down to PB. To check, we need to evaluate the stagnation condition by using the equation I mentioned before. We would like to get the PO. Pressure initial is about 72 psia. So the break pressure ratio is 0.417, which is it's lower than 0.55 to 8. So the flow is choke. So for choke flow, the Mach number at the throat is 1. The mass flow rate, and after that we want to search for the mass flow rate. The mass flow rate may be found from condition at section 1 using this equation I already mentioned before. So basically we just input all the known properties to the equation, and then we got the mass flow rate is about 2.4 lbm per second. And then for the last, we want to search for the throat area using this equation, and then we would like to get the throat area is about 9.98 times 10 minus 3 feet square. So that's all the answer for question number 5. So that's all that I can explain from the question from the final exam for fluid mechanics. Before I'm closing this video, I would like to say sorry first because my English is not pretty good, so maybe if there is some misspelling to be understand. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.